According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of a sport is an activity involving physical exertion and skill, in which an individual or team compete against another or others for entertainment. And to me, NASCAR fits perfectly into this definition. Unfortunately, many don't see NASCAR in the same light as its fans, though. So today, I'm going to try and clear it all up. To break it down, there are 4 components that NASCAR needs to fall under to be defined as a sport. These are an activity involving physical exertion, an activity involving skill, an activity where a team or individual competes against another or others, and if it is done for entertainment. Let's get the easy points out of the way first. Obviously, NASCAR fits into the third criteria of competing against other individuals and teams. A full field of NASCAR Monster Energy Cup cars would be 40, which means that an individual driver and team would be against 39 other individual drivers or teams in a full field. So that's checked off. And NASCAR also fits into the fourth criteria of being done for entertainment. This can be seen on how some tracks can hold over 150,000 people, while millions of people watch each week. While it may not be entertainment to everybody, it is entertainment to its fans. So that leaves 2 defining traits that people seem to get hung up upon. That is that NASCAR racing involves physical exertion and that NASCAR racing involves skill. To start, NASCAR drivers have a ton of force pushing against them when they travel through the corners of tracks. For instance, the force at a mid-level track like Texas Motor Speedway is about 1.9 Gs, or 1.9 times the force of gravity, through the corners. So a driver would be pushing against that much force for possibly 600 or more times for over 4 hours at times. Along with needing physical strength and endurance for that kind of force, a NASCAR driver also has to deal with the heat produced by the car in any given race. The cars are sealed off from the outside as much as possible for aerodynamic reasons. Because of this, the heat produced by the cars will stay in the cockpit with the driver. The heat that the drivers endure is usually above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the normal range of temperature is somewhere between 120 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, with it getting as hot as 170 degrees Fahrenheit on and near the floorboard. Between having to fight the heightened G-force as well as the extreme heat of a car's inside, it is also quite accurate to say that the drivers have a lot of physical exertion during each race. Along with the conditions in the car, the driver's body is put through a very stressful physical exertion. In the 2012 Coca-Cola 600 for ESPN's Sports Science team, they used sensors to analyze Denny Hamlin's body. In the data received, Hamlin's core body temperature rose to 101 degrees Fahrenheit. A weight of 3 Gs in the corners was on his neck, which means that his neck would have to support about 40 pounds through the corner. And Hamlin's heart rate was recorded as 130 beats per minute. To put that in perspective, that is almost the same heart rate that I had when I was running 20 plus miles straight for marathon training last year. Hamlin also endured this for over 30,000 beats during the race, compared to just 16,000 for an elite marathon runner. All of this going on with cars inches away from each other at times, especially on restarts. And once the race is over, the drivers usually lose between 5 to 15 pounds of water weight due to sweating during the race. So not only are these drivers athletes, they are elite athletes. So NASCAR checks off the point of a sport of having an activity involving physical exertion. So what's left on the checklist? Well, the one thing left on the checklist of being a definition of a sport for NASCAR is an activity that involves skill. To many who are still skeptical, you may think that this is where the cutoff point is for where NASCAR isn't a sport, and this is where someone who has watched the sport for a long time would know that you are completely wrong with that statement. In a given race, a car can go up to a football field per second, meaning that a driver's hand-eye coordination must be top-notch. If a car spins in front of a driver, a split second can be the difference between crashing out early or possibly winning the race. The same can be said for saving a car. While cars can have a lack of tire grip, wacky aerodynamics when put in awkward situations, and other drivers' contact, it all makes it very easy to spin out. So a driver, again, can be the difference between winning and crashing out early. It takes extreme amounts of skill to keep the cars in control. And as stated earlier, these drivers are all doing this with at least 2 Gs all the way up to 4 Gs against them while in the corners. So a skilled activity is definitely crossed off the list. By definition, NASCAR racing, as well as other motorsports in general, are a sport, and their participants are athletes. If you agree with this, or you had your mind changed about NASCAR, then please leave a like and share this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to this channel. And until next time, have a good one.